One of the great lost secrets of all spiritual development, of all personal development, is the concept of structuring the subtle bodies. So the idea of this is that our energy bodies, our subtle energy, has a particular structure to it. Very advanced spiritual teachers will sometimes develop the capacity to perceive the subtle energy structures in the bodies of their students. Because all of our karmic history, everything we've done in the past, whether in this lifetime or earlier lifetimes, all of that collapses into specific structures in our energy field. That means that our energy field is geometrically structured. There's a sacred geometry to every person's energy field as a unique structure in the universe, because they're all structured slightly differently. There's commonalities between them all. We all have the 7 chakras and acupuncture points and all that. But which of those are really active in our field? Which of those are really sedated or dormant? Which of these are properly formed and which of these are distorted? Which of the links between the centers are operating or are not operating? This creates different sacred geometry patterns in the energy field. For someone who's very advanced in this as a spiritual teacher, they might even be able to see what spiritual traditions a person trained with earlier in this life or another life, because the practices you learn from any spiritual tradition invisibly structure the energy in your field. Often the people in the tradition don't even know that. This is like a very advanced level, but it's something that's also so fundamental. Everyone should be aware of this. The only thing you take with you through the gate of death is the structure of your energy field. That's the pearl of great price. You've structured your energy field into a particular geometric pattern through everything you've thought, everything you've felt, every action you've taken, thinking, feeling, and willing, like Steiner says. Thought, speech, and action, like the Buddhists say. So all of that creates a force. If I have a detrimental thought and I keep reinforcing it, that'll start changing a pattern in my energy body. I have a highly beneficial internal emotional state. That starts structuring something in my energy body. Every single action we take, including thoughts and feelings, structures our energy field through repetition. And that is the most important thing that we need to be aware of. And it also, once you know that, it opens up into all these other areas. So, for example, when you are training with a particular tradition, all of the practices of that tradition are meant to structure your energy body into a particular form that gives you particular siddhas, or particular powers, as they describe in the Himalayas. But you will develop different siddhas and different structures in your energy body based on what practices you choose to do. So the blessing and the curse of modern metaphysics, as I often talk about, is that the blessing is that we're exposed now to an incredible wealth of amazing information and practices from traditions where this stuff was incredibly hidden before, like that incredibly advanced internal alchemy practices coming from the Chinese Taoists. Until 30 years ago, you couldn't even access that stuff hardly. And now there's like almost so many deep parts of it are available to us. But that's the blessing. The curse is people don't have the structural ability to put the fragments coming from all these traditions into a workable form. That's why when they learn this, they have to understand how to structure their practices in such a way that the structures of the energy body actually become something that optimizes this incarnation, so you can take with you all of these new improvements, these new organs of spiritual perception in the subtle body. So I can connect to that another one of the questions coming up, which is we have to be aware different traditions will structure energy field in different ways. Some will really hyperstructure the fields around the head, some will structure it around the heart, some will structure it around the abdomen. But the issue around all of this that Steiner was aware of and the European Rosicrucians found a solution to is that our entire body of energy has to have an organizing center, like the point in the center of the circle. If you don't have an organizing center for any energy field, it becomes chaotic and it can become destructive. There must always be an organizing, balancing, harmonizing center. That's the whole point of biogeometry. So what Steiner actually described was a series of 6 exercises in which you observe the content of your thinking, your feeling, your willing, and then you start developing other capacities in your internal life. Because Steiner gave out somewhat of the receptive aspect of the observation of these faculties inside of us, but you need to add to it the active side. So what Steiner made clear is that although it might appear that these are just kind of general exercises with your thinking and your feeling and your willing, that what it actually does is each of the 6 exercises developing one of the 12 lotus petals of the 12th petal lotus of the human heart. And so 6 of them, he said, were already developed by us in previous ages, previous lifetimes. But we have 6 that must be developed in our current time. If we can develop those 6 other lotus petals on the 12th petal lotus of the heart, that will allow the entire heart to become active as an organizing center for the entire body of energy. If you develop that organizing center, then all the other practices you do don't have a place to coordinate. They're just kind of like this thing and that thing and some Jenga tower. And so the 6 essential exercises, the hidden part of it is that it's structuring your energy field to activate the heart center and create an organizing center for all of the flows.